Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Artist Who Left podcast. If you're new here, my name is Lilly.V. I'm an artist from Cuba and I'm based in Bangkok, Thailand. I've been performing internationally for the past 10 years. And if you're back, you're one of my return viewers, thank you so much for coming back and welcome, everybody. I want to wish you an incredible new year. This will be the first episode of the year, and I hope, like how I mentioned in my previous episodes, I can continue to share some of my knowledge and some of my experiences here. And because at the end of the day, this is like one of the reasons why I create this space, this podcast. I believe that sharing information that the internet lack is like like a part from my side of contributes to everybody who wants to become a better artist, a better person, and information that I wish it was there when I started many years ago. But yeah, to have you here. Thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. And in today episodes, I want to talk about something that is very common out there, and a lot of people ask, okay, are you a professional musician? Are you a professional artist? Are you a professional singer? And maybe you are somebody who aspired to be or are on the way to become a professional artist or a professional singer, a professional musician. And I know from a fact that being an artist and being professional and make a living as an artist is something that it can be very challenging. And I say challenging and not impossible because I believe there's an opportunity for everybody out there to become the best version of themselves, especially if they are willing to work and they are willing to do what it takes to do as an artist and also as a person. And as an artist, I think that I'm talking from this side of, from this point of view, like the point of view of artist, a singer, a musician. But I believe that this thing, this topic that we have today, it can apply for many other professions. You know what I mean? I think some of the things that we're gonna be talking today have to is related with more personal level of being a professional and being great on the things that you decide to do. And like I mentioned in the previous episodes, we talk about how to negotiate your price as an independent artist or as a musician. And I'm bringing this up because I believe that this topic have a lot to do with, is very related to the topic that we do today of being a professional. And why I say that is because many times people relate being professional with you get paid to do something that is not considered a hobby. So, like I say again, some of the point of views I'm sharing here today is coming straight off from my experience and all the lessons that I learned through my career and like everybody else have to learn it the hard way, and before we get very into the topic, I went there and did some research because I want to have concept clears and we can understand everything a little bit better today. So I went there to Google and I searched for the concept of professional. And the Cambridge Dictionary said a professional is someone who has worked hard in the same type of job for a long time and has become skilled at dealing with any problem that may happen. Also, other definition says that the term describes the standards of education and training that prepare the members of the profession with the particular knowledge and skills necessary to perform the specific role within the profession. Something that really got my attention when I was doing this research was a very small paragraph that said, what defines being professional is conducting on self with responsibility, integrity, accountability, and excellence. It means communicating effectively and appropriately and always find a way to be productive. I'm like, wow. Reading this concept and analyzing, like when I was like preparing this podcast and writing about what I wanted to talk about today, it's just like, oh my God, it makes a lot of sense for me. Wanted to bring up this topic for you guys. So as you can see in these definitions, you can find often the word professional, that you can see that definitions these definitions associate professional with education and training. And a question that I probably ask myself, and you can ask yourself, is like, that means that if I didn't went to school for singing or for learning an instrument or for learning certain type of skill, that doesn't make me a professional singer, musician, artist, whatever. Absolutely, this is no necessarily. Like for example, in my case, I never went to a music school, but I've been singing since I was 9 years, and that brought me to many different places. And I toured around Cuba. I was exposed to a huge variation of style of music, and I have to admit that I always kind of resent my parents because they didn't let me go to the music school even though I passed all the exams. And and I probably wouldn't have the same experience as if I went to get my music degree. I don't know if you understand what I'm coming from in here. So I feel like, you know, like I always talk about like how universe and how God have things prepared for you. Like as I always, bringing this thing back. It's just like I would probably have the degree, but I probably didn't have the experience that I had today, going through those travels and experimenting very diverse type of music and styles. And yeah, just let me know if you would like to hear a podcast about how was my music career, my music exposure, or experience growing up in Cuba. So I can say that my gift, my God-given gift, have taken me to some of the most incredible places in the world, like places that I couldn't imagine I would go. And but at the same time, there's no way that my gift would have taken me to these places if it wasn't because my training, my hard work, and my improvement. Saying this, I can definitely assure that each challenging that is presented to you, or or the challenges that it been presented to me, has formed into have formed me into the artist that I am today. And I cannot say that I still don't feel bad for not going to not being, no, don't having that music degree. But we all know that right now with technology, with the internet, everything is possible. I can go and get that degree at any point of my life. But also at the same time, this doesn't really stop me for being the best version of me. Absolutely no. It don't stop me for being the best. It's actually challenged me more because I know I have some skills, but I know I'm lacking in other skill that I won't call it a lack of skills, but I will call it a different type of education and different type of experience. Going in this direction, I would like to start getting to the topic of today because I realize that we have a lot of pressure from our families, from our parents, where they say like, you should go to college, you should have a degree, you should this and that, and schools are a little. Please don't trust me for this, but I think the schools are a little bit overrated. And no matter what type of school you go, if you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a musician, there's a lot of things that they don't teach in school that unfortunately when we get thrown into the world, we have to learn the hard way. And this is the things that I would like to share with you guys about how can you be considered a professional artist, a professional musician, of course not leaving behind that education that you have from school and all that stuff. So like I say, there's so many things that they don't teach in the school, and I feel like these notes and this information that I have to share with you guys can be very helpful for somebody that are already in the music industry and struggling, or for somebody who's thinking to start in this business and pursue a career as a professional artist, musician, or singer. One of the first things that caught my attention was, and it's something that I have to learn the hard way. I think each single, I mean, not all of them, because we're gonna get to a point where I will develop a little bit more, but this specific thing, this specific point, everybody have to learn it the hard way. And John Mayer said in an interview, like one of the first thing that you should do when you about to get out there and show off of your gift is define your expectations. And when you're talking about defining expectation, you have to decide, and this is what the money part come in, something that I said before. Is this your hobby, or this is something that you want to make a living from? So once you have that defined, like I'm not saying that either one is a bad thing or is a good thing. I'm just saying that, like, if this is your hobby, there's plenty of karaoke rooms, there's plenty of open mics, there's plenty of jamming sessions when you can go there and have fun. And it doesn't really matter if you're the greatest of you're not, or I always say people come to me and like, but I like to sing, but I sing horribly. I say like, look, just do what make you happy. So that's why rooms like karaoke rooms and jam sessions are for, I believe, just to have fun and go there. But now, if you really want to make a living, if you're ready to get paid for something that you think you're good at it, then you have to put in the work. So you have to define that, okay, this is my hobby, and I have another job where I can actually make my income from. I have my own business. I can do this and that, and I just gonna go and see where my friends are. If they have some jamming session, I'm just gonna go jam, and I can fulfill that desire of singing or blah blah blah. If like, okay, people really want to see like how horrible I am, I'm just gonna go have fun and say, okay, I'm just gonna have fun in my karaoke room and just do that. But once you say like, okay, I need to make a living from this, it's like when the game really start, because let's say that you come from school and you're already there, there's a lot of things to you have to get done. So in that way, I think that one of the first things to look for in this this new journey that you're getting yourself into is like, do not get comfortable, because if, like I say, if you're somebody who come from school, like you have a music degree or anything, don't think that that's enough and that you have the job done, and because you finish it with the greatest grades, you automatically are able to be the highest paid or have the more gigs or get the more opportunity. Because we all know, like most of us, I mean, with music it's different, but like for example, like some people who study to be an engineer, you just finish school. Sometimes you have so much information in your head that when you throw it into the world of working, it's like you have no idea what's happening, because they don't really teach you about these things in school. So as an artist, once you decided that you want to make a living from this and this is what you really want to do, like I say, the music degree is important for some people, for other people are not important. But in this business, there's something that goes a little deeper that school doesn't really teach. And I'm talking about how to self promote yourself, how to talk with people, means like public relationships. There's a lot of things that we need to check in ourselves. So being a professional musician or being a professional artist become an internal work in a sense, because you have to check your ego, and you have to practice a lot of kindness and understanding without being too nice, where people being able to take advantage of you, which happens very, very often. And I'm not agree with that. And also, don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole, because obviously people don't like assholes, and it happens for many, many times. Like you don't want to be the person that is super talented but people don't want to work with. You have to be a great team player, have to, like, the same way you're practicing a skill, have to communicate with the people around you, your public relations and stuff. You have to learn how to communicate with your band members, how to be nice with your band members. If you're a singer, you depend in certain way of them. So you cannot just go there and act like a diva or act like the center of the world, even though showtime, everything should go around the person who's in front. And this is something that I will definitely talk about in another podcast, about like what it makes you a good team player. And yeah, let me know if you're interested in that. This is actually coming to my head right now while I'm talking with you guys. So like I said, don't think that having a doctor, master, having the biggest degrees, it will be enough. There's so many things in the music industry that you need to learn, and everything is in constant evolution. And things that used to work 5 years ago, it works completely different right now. And especially when everybody relate on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and all these big platforms, where you can just put a video yourself and like, oh my god, looks pretty, looks very, very nice, but it goes a little deeper. So I think one of the first things we need to do is just like check on ourselves, check on our ego, and be good people in general. And yeah, I think that will relate to the next couple points. And one thing that I would like to talk about it in this is like how, like, one of the things that they don't teach you is you have to learn to be your own brand. And a lot of people say, the other day I was having a conversation with some band members, and somebody was like, I say this is like, you need to create a brand. You need to identify with something. And somebody say like, yeah, but well, I gained some weight, and oh, somebody just more skinny. When I'm talking about brand, I'm not talking about physical changes, or I'm talking about clothing. I'm not talking about brands that you wear. Like, okay, I'm a great singer because I'm able to buy Prada and Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all that stuff. when I'm talking about image, I'm talking about learn how to dress accordingly the occasion that you're like the gig that you're playing. Like for example, if you are in a wedding, unless they tell you otherwise, you know, yeah, that if you're a guy, you need to dress up with like a suit, like suit, shoes. And in general, sometimes you don't really have to spend so much money on like buying the most expensive suit. I think that my mom always tell me this is like it's not the brand, it's the person. And one of the things that are important is like practice hygienic habits, like make sure like you look clean, make sure that your clothes is clean, make sure that your shoes are clean, that your hair is in the right place, and like be accordingly to the situation. If you know you're in a club, of course you're gonna sweat, so you have to feel comfortable and you have to be dressed accordingly. And the good thing is that, like sometimes when we go to events or we go to weddings or we go to like New Year shows, sometimes these places and the organizer already have like a theme for the occasion, so that will be easy. Just make sure that you look clean and you're like wear a cologne or something. Like sometimes we reuse the clothes. I have it happens sometimes that like for example, guys that wear the suits very, very often and they don't wash it often. And sometimes you might be clean and you might took 3 showers a day, but if you put your suit back and smell bad, then you're around. And people talk about those things. And those things are are very it can be superficial but are important, for everybody around. And so it's like courtesy, like you if you care about how you look and how you smell and how is your clothes and everything, everybody will notice that. And it's not you're not doing it for people to notice, you do it for yourself so you feel better. And you don't have to be wondering, it's like something smell bad, it might be me, if it's somebody else, blah blah blah. So sometimes we are not really straightforward with these things. Like sometimes we are shy and we feel scared to tell anybody that, sorry, you have a boogie, or sorry, your hair is messed up, or oh, you have a stain in here, blah blah. But okay, I think I'm going a little too deep into that. But like I say, learn how to be your own brand. Just like dress accordingly, be clean, and practice your hygienic habits. And like you might have your own style. So if you have your own style, just rock it and say, okay, this is my style and this is how I identify. So no matter what, like for example, if you're the front line, if you're the singer, okay, let's say that you like baggy clothes and big sneakers, just make sure that every baggy clothes and every sneaker that you wear is outstanding and you look good. And when people see a photo, even they cannot see your face properly, they say like, oh, that is such and such, because I know that that's her style and that's her brand. And like for example, in my case, I realized that people associate me with the diva look because I even though I hate glitter, I wear a lot of glitter dresses because I know it looks good. And I know like it makes me feel okay when I'm on stage. So I found that style and I know that if I wear that, I don't need to think about my dress the whole night because I know it's gonna look good. And that's, people associate me with that. And that's a good thing. And this is something that I have to check up from my showtime, because I know, okay, for this gig, I know this is like this type of gig. Okay, this is the clothes I'm gonna wear. Boom. And you don't have to spend a lot of money and time trying to search for a dress or for something every time that you have a gig. I know it can be very stressful. I say it from my own experience. Passing to another topic, like something that is very important to learn while you in this journey is how to detach your emotions. And this is very related to ego again, because when we are on stage performing, like playing an instrument or whatever, one of the things like no the most important thing about the performance is how you make other people feel. People love to feel that they are special, and people love to know that you care about them. And if you're a person that if you're a singer and you're too much into your head and your eyes are too close, or you're too focused on your iPad or your smartphone because you need to follow the lyrics and because you need to follow the structure, that takes you away from having a relationship with the people that at the end are the ones that make that show happen in a way. Like, if there's no people, there's no show. If there's no wedding, there's no band. If there's, you know what I mean? So there's something that y'all have to keep in mind, like when you are on stage, the most important thing are the people, how you make them feel. They really care. And if you make them feel good, they will remember that, you know? Like having all these people come in and you're just like, oh my God, this song makes me cry, even though you might feel that's like, oh my God, I make somebody cry. But that's like people expressing their emotions. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. That's something that, like, the same way, like, oh my God, I dance my ass off today. It's like, okay, cool. My job is done. Sometimes we get too much into our head. It's like, oh my God, I missed this note. Oh my God, I stay flat in this note. Oh my God, I messed up my solo. Oh my God, everything, and like something small that people don't really notice, you make it like a big deal, and that take you away, like mentally take you away from the performance and for the things that are really matters while you're on stage. And that's why, so you have to check out so many things. So if you don't have to care about your clothes, that's something that you check off of your mind and you focus on the performance. If you feel like you're not prepared, or if you think like you're gonna forget something, well, that's something that you have to work like separately, not on stage, like, but I mean, like, if you worry that you're gonna miss the lyrics, then you will miss the lyrics because you're thinking about it. And sometimes people don't really see, sometimes people don't really notice that things happen. I'm not saying that this is not important. I'm not saying that it's not important to learn the lyrics. I'm saying that there's other things more important than that. And sometimes we get too much in our head and we stay away from what really matters on stage. In this point, I would like to say that one thing that's very important is not getting comfortable. Sometimes we think because we have a lot of jobs, we have a lot of gigs, and because we have that degree, we don't have to learn more stuff. We don't have to do things. Like I say, everything is completely evolving. And every day there's more singers, there more artists, very talented, very virtuous. And if you stick, if you're stuck, if you stay where you are, then what's the purpose? You know what I mean? So you have to be in constant evolution. You have to keep learning, have to keep practicing, have to keep checking on the things that you can improve. If you have problem with your lyrics, maybe you need to spend more time memorizing them and learning them. If you think that you have problem with your dance move, maybe you need to practice that. And rehearsals are one of the most important parts of the show. Anything that you don't do in the rehearsal, you won't do it on the show. Like, that's a fact. And everything that you do wrong in the rehearsal, you will do it wrong on the stage. Everything is proved there. And if somebody think that it's not true, let me know, because I will love to talk to you and say, like, know your point of view. And for singers, your voice is your instrument. You need to take care of your voice. Like, if you know that alcohol hurts you, quit alcohol. If you know that you struggle with your sleep because you are too busy, say no to things that will make you better. Say no is great. And I think that something that I always talk with people is like, sometimes people ask you to do something and you feel the necessity to say yes when you're not 100% prepared for that. That's betraying yourself as a person and as a musician, because you know that when you step on there, you're not gonna be on your 100%, and then you're gonna feel bad, and then you gotta slow down, and then you gotta beat yourself, and then you gotta think that you're not good enough. And one of the things that are very important in this industry is to have a good peace of mind. Like everybody around you can feel you when you're not on 100%, when you feel in your lowest energy. And we are energy transmitters. And we have to be good ourselves to be able to pass by on the good vibes, because if we're on a party, somebody hired for a party, I don't want to be everybody boring, or everybody like sitting down, so if you're boring, if you just gotta get out of yourself and be trying to get better every time. Something that is very important, and I think that is one of the issues that hurt the most artists out there, is understanding your journey, and do not compare your journey with other people. Like everybody has different set of skills, everybody have different personalities, everybody have different journey. And in this way, I think that comparing is it can be one of the huge enemies. Just like, but why did this person have more gigs that I do? And why did this person look better in this dress than I do? And why did, if we started at the same time, this person is more successful? And why, I think the comparison should come from like, what did I did last night in my gig that I can improve? Not based on the other people, or based on somebody that you think is better than you. There's nobody better than you. Like, you have to be yourself at any point of your life and fight for that. And something that it can affect a lot of self-esteem and how we think about ourselves are compliments. And this is something that I struggled for many, many, many years, because in the past I have this advice where someone told me compliments are really bad, and you shouldn't take anybody's compliments, and compliments should come from one ear and go straight to the other. And that is 50-50. One, because not everybody who's give you compliments honestly mean it. It's part of the courtesy. Like if you're around musicians, it happens that sometimes they will come to you and say, good job, that's courtesy. Or some people don't really mean it. But there's people that really mean it. So you have to create an internal filter to know that people will say stuff just to say it, and people will say things that really mean. And in creating that filter, you're creating and you become an autocritic, meaning that if you know that you messed up on something and somebody come and say like, oh my God, that was amazing. Well, you have to know that you need to improve what you think that you messed up. And something that is very important that I do a lot, and I learned from many years ago. If you want to improve something that you think is wrong, record yourself, put a video and your performance. Videos are not only for posting on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere. Some videos are important because you can watch yourself. You can watch your posture. You can watch how you dress. You can watch like after you did 3 jumps, your shirt came all the way here and then you start looking messy or blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So be your own critic without beating yourself up. Be kind and celebrate small achievements. Like something that I'm learning the hard way is like sometimes I just go, I have a big challenge show. I prepare, I learn, I practice, blah, blah. I went there, do the show, check out, move on, the next. And sometimes I don't assimilate how important or how amazing experience was that particular gig, because my focus was in being way too professional or being way too focused. And coming to that is like, I think you have to have fun, because that's what music is. Like art is like, you can, like I say, I would say you can have fun and be organized, and you can be responsible and have fun. Like, that's for sure. So, because at the end of the day, art, music, dancing, acting are self expressions, and if we cannot be freely expressing that, then what's the point? So the whole goal is like keep being yourself and be the best person that you can be every day. So to start closing this episode today, I would like to make a small recap, and I really hope that some of the topics that I bring today bring you a different perspective, and a different idea, and really get you encouraged to keep learning and keep growing, and don't let nobody stop you from greatness or for being who you are, or don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough. Because if you do the work that is required, then there's not impossibles. So I think, in my opinion, being professional, it cannot always be associated with a degree or a diploma. Like, being professional is how you apply, how you develop, how you improve yourself, and find the most effective way to be productive. Like, that's, combining the original concepts and, all these things that I share with you guys. Another thing is just like you have to be open to learn more and practice more the things that will make you a better person and a more successful professional. And even if, like, as an artist, as a singer, as a musician, as a dancer, or any type of profession that you apply, if it's somebody that you're not in the music industry, I think this topic will help you too, because at the end of the day, you have to keep evolving and keep getting better and being the best version of yourself every day. I think if you're a great person, you can be a completely great musician, because some of the things seems applied in both worlds. Being a good person and know how to work on a team, like have to be like a good team player, is something that is very important in the industry. Like I said before, nobody wants to work with the asshole, with the person that is always complaining, with the person who's not always agreeing with a team has discussed before. Somebody is always against everything. Like, if somebody say yes, you say no. If somebody say green, you say blue. If somebody say I don't want to go, you want to go. You know what I mean? So you can be the most successful person in, like, inside of yourself. You can be successful, you can be the most smart person, you can be a more pretty person, you can be the one, whatever you think you are. If you're an asshole, nobody wants to work with you. And I can guarantee you, there's a lot of stories out there of people who are talented, and people wonder, oh, what happened with such and such? I don't see this person anymore, or I don't work with, or people come into like, I don't work with this person anymore because this person is da 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 da. So you don't want to be this person. Like, kindness is free. Kindness is something that, the same way we learn hate from the people around, like, you know, we learn with all these feelings inside of us. So I don't think there's a way to be unkind to anybody out there, because if you are unkind with your musicians, you don't know what is going through. And we all musicians, we don't go through the same things, but we go through similar situations in our life. Financial problems with family, problem with our girlfriend, our wife, problem with our car, problem. Everybody has problems. So what's the point to be an asshole when you can actually be kind and be helpful? And one thing that is very important is something that I will repeat to me. I will repeat to myself for the whole years is enjoy the process and reward yourself. I mean, you don't have to break the band rewarding yourself, or have to get into the mindset as that, well, I this today I sit down and write this, I'm gonna get me a pair of shoes. It's not that type of reward. It's just like, realize that, okay, if you work really hard for something like a job or something, the reward will be taking some time off, If you usually wake up at 8 and you don't have work tomorrow, maybe you say, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna sleep in. I'm gonna eat like breakfast. I'm gonna have my coffee by a coffee shop, or those small things. So yeah, I think we talk a lot today, and I really hope that the things that I'm bringing up to you, or you find it helpful, and share your thoughts. Please let me know which of these advices you're already applying, or what of these advices or point of view you didn't knew before. If you have any others that I didn't mention here, I think it's important to bring it up to my podcast. And yeah, I would love to know about you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and one more time, welcome to the artist who left. I hope this year is full of knowledge episodes, and like I say, I hope you guys have a great year ahead. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next podcast.